Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here, Safi Financial Network. Today is March 31st, 2025, last day of March. Ugly March, and the market just going all the way down in months of March. However, this last day was kind of like a salvation day. Remember that in my daily analysis, or I should say weekly wrap last week, was mentioning about if the miracle happens, we can see some kind of like a hope at the end of the tunnel. But still, market damaged a lot, so we need to see a bullish structure just going all the way up for 56.75 and then recapture. After recapturing this pivot, we need to go above this pivotal point, previous pivot, which is going to be 5800. Then that would be a nice W pattern. So that would be very, very nice bottoming formation. Market can head even to double top or even new all-time high. But right now, with one candle, one day, I don't think we're gonna just make a too much bullish case. We don't want to just overweight the analysis on the bull side, but market reacted nicely to this 54.80 with a nice divergence here. If you just to see that we got a lower high here or lower low. But look at the RSI. RSI between last two pivots, which is going to be Friday pivot and the previous pivot, which is March 13 pivot, is hugely diverged to the upside. So this is a very nice bullish indicator. We can't deny this bullish indicator, but this is regular divergence, regular bullish divergence, which could be a bullish setup, but we want to see the RSI is getting above 50%, which can just lead stocks higher. But here's another one. So we don't want to see a higher high with a bullish case with a divergence to the downside. So this is the previous divergence in RSI that we got a lower low in the stock market. But right now, we are seeing a nice bullish divergence here for the market. So again, all in all, we should just give market benefit of doubt for the short term. I would say market can have another day or two rally, but you see that even after hours, market sold off sharply. So just because people don't want to bet on any bullish case, but all in all, I should say 54 points, 55 points to the upside, 1% after ugly Friday. That's outstanding, and we will give market benefit of that for now. Nasdaq is the same here, so we got a nice hammer here. This is obvious, a lower low at the very important level, 18,900. This is the previous kind of like a breaking through to the upside. You see that here is the September low. This is August low. This is September back testing the August wide range bar here. And this is kind of like the breakout candle, which associated with lots of volume on the bull side. So market just rightly reacting to this level 18,900. We got a hammer candlestick, and this is kind of like a bullish. As I said, nice divergence here. You can see that even in MACD, even in RSI, even in stochastic, all three indicators at the same time giving us a nice bullish divergence here. But we don't want to make a too much bullish case of it just because we don't get any confirmation. We need to see a strong confirmation and getting above this pivotal point, which is March 26 pivotal point. All in all, if we get that kind of like a confirmation, we are heading for a nice bull setup, which is going to be a W pattern. So W pattern with one leg lower, you're just kind of hopeful to get above this pivotal point. As soon as we get above this pivotal point, we can just get all in for a pullback to potential new all-time high. Before that, it's going to be just a bounce, nothing more. All right. We will see how it goes. Moving on to US 30, which is Dow. Dow just nicely getting back to the upside. This is a very, very nice setup for Dow. So just better compared to the other one. We didn't get a lower low. We got higher low here, financials, energy, and the other large cap, I would say stocks actually just getting to the higher high as well today. Pretty nice volume for the Dow as well. So we got nice bullish piercing candle. 78% Fibonacci since this bottom and this top. This is a 78%. Great reversal move. So we will give Dow benefit of doubt. We need to get above this at 43,000 area, I would say 43,000 area to make a complete bullish case. Otherwise, it's not going to be that bullish. It's going to be just a bounce. Gold. Rockstar, new all-time high for gold. Gold is heading to my target, 32 to 3,300. As I said, like beginning of this year, gold can hit this area. Very, very bullish case. But if we get here, I would say dramatic fall is coming for gold, then it's the time. I'm not sure if this is gonna be the final target, but I would say this is very feasible target for gold. And before the topping formation, we want to see some kind of like a knee-jerk reaction for silver. Silver is lagging. Silver actually doesn't even get to the positive territory today. It's just enabling to the positive territory coming back down. Um, Trend is uptrend, but compared to gold hitting the all-time high, silver is struggling even to get above this October pivot to $34. And this 34, if it gets above $35, then we can go all the way up to $44. So we will see how it goes for silver. But right now, I would say stay cautious for that one. I'm thinking for the last phase of the precious metals rally is going to be silver skyrocketing to the upside, and that would be very, very nice, valuable asset. Right now, I would say silver is better for investment compared to gold due to gold silver ratio. Moving on to crude, substantial higher today. Fantastic move. So look at this. We just got a 3.25% to the upside. Pretty nice move, recapturing $71. But look at this area. I'm just looking at 74, 73 to $74 for crude. If it gets above this, I would say crude is tackling for potential getting back to the bullish momentum and getting above this $80. Right now, crude is just forming a nice candle to the upside, and we may see some kind of like a backing and filling somewhere around here just because we're getting to a resistance area. All in all, I should say crude 71 to $74 is going to be a resistance. Moving on to individual names, starting with Bitcoin. Bitcoin just a doji bar today, nothing spectacular. And forming a bear flag here, to be honest, rather than bullish momentum, we need to take out this 88,000 to get a bullish case. Otherwise, it's just forming a bear flag for a next lower low. So we'll see how it goes. Ethereum is the same, is kind of like a struggling to form the bottom here, 1600 to 1800. We'll see how it goes. Bond yield just going down sharply, gap down, but getting back to the upside, kind of like regaining some losses, however, negative still compared to Friday's session. Bond TLT is just getting back to the upside nicely and popping up. This is kind of like a bull flag. We need to see this one is getting close above 93. If it goes above 93, I would say this is initiating for a nice rally to the upside. Wicks is the same pattern here, just a popping up, but coming down. So this means the steel volatility is here, still above 20, but investors and traders are hopeful for a bounce, at least tradable bounce. Dixie, just a bullish harami here, 104. I would say Dixie can go higher to 105, but after that, I'm not sure if it goes to 106 or 107. This is very hard for Dixie. I would say lower value for dollar is coming down the road. Apple just nicely getting back to the upside after Friday failing bullish consolidation, getting back, recapturing nicely 220, and just forming a bullish consolidation again. So we are kind of like a hopeful for Apple again. It depends on the market if it wants to confirm a bullish momentum to the upside. We can see Apple can go higher. Amazon nicely getting to this area 180 and kind of like a forming a nice divergence here. Still didn't touch this trend line, but very close. Meta touching this trend line nicely and nicely, I would say, rebounding or bouncing back up nicely. So even it goes to positive territory, that's pretty good development for Meta. But we need to see a structure shifting to the upside by getting above 640. Right now we are at 576, which is going to be still a bullish, like a $40 plus 24, like a $64 up. Not a bad trade. The For the investment perspective, we should just be concerned about those levels. Microsoft still struggling to find a bottom in this weekly demand area, 375. This is valuable level for Microsoft for investors. Google, the same pattern here, just going down, capitulated, and getting back to the upside, 154 for Google. After hours just sold off, but still forming up nicely for a bullish setup. There are lots of resistance here, 160 to 175. Lots of resistance there, so we'll see how it goes. Netflix is just getting back to the upside, like the other names as well. Tesla gap down and getting back to the upside. It's kind of like a hope at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't go through 225, so we can just make a bullish case still to 309 to 325 for a dead cat bounce at least. The same SMH, which is semiconductor index, nicely tested this demand area and trend line getting back to the upside. This is just a small reaction, or this is going to be a beginning of the trend line. We'll see. Stocks the same pattern going all the way down to 180 to 187. Demand area bounce back up. Taiwan Semiconductor, great move for Taiwan. I would say this is kind of like the potential bottom for Taiwan, at least for a short term. AMD is the same. So if you haven't watched my video for AMD, make sure watch that one, because I just made a bullish case on AMD. We may see some kind of like a rally to the upside. It depends. There are lots of factors. I just put a video up there, so make sure watch that video as well. Nvidia just gap down, going below this lower low, and then getting back to the upside, nicely going up. So Nvidia is nicely higher. Texas Instrument getting back to the upside after hours. It's just smashing up. I don't know what's happening for Texas, but this is kind of like the form, the bottoming formation here. Lam Research, $72.65 after hours, nicely getting below this divergence and then getting back to the upside. 78 to 80 is a huge resistance for Lam Research. XLF, which is Financial Spider, 49.81. KBE, large cap bank ETF, 52.96, and getting back to the upside. KRE, 56.85, and the banks are kind of like forming a nice reversal here. JP Morgan getting back to the upside, 244. Goldman Sachs is getting above again previous pivot here as well, so nicely going up, 545. Nice reversal. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, the same pattern, nice bounce. And here is the gold miners. They were kind of like supposed to be at new all-time high, very close to new all-time high. But look at this Dragonfly Doji. At the top, this is kind of like I think market is forming for another rally to the upside. GDXJ, the same pattern here. AEM, nice bullish candle here. Nominal, not nominal actually, new close a new all-time high, closing all-time high for AEM. And new month is the same here, nice bullish consolidation. It can tackle to 50 to 51. Gold, the same pattern. Gold Barrick is getting back to the upside. Nice move. I would say this is kind of like a bullish consolidation. 2141 is coming down the road. XLE, which is Energy Spider, fantastic move today. I would say they're kind of like a poised for another rally, a nice rally. Exxon, the same pattern. They can hit new all-time high. Exxon. And Chevron is forming very nice. So bullish setup here as well. I know rejection around 169, 170, but if it breaks it through, it can go to new all-time high. I would say energy market is kind of like a poised for another rally, potentially some of them hitting to new all-time high. All right, folks, I believe I covered everything. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and have a good one. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.